Ultimately, in the beginning, yoga was never about physical exercise, which is what it's transformed into in the modern world. This is how most people, not most people, but many people who practice yoga, it's their form of exercise. And it's an amazing form of exercise, very powerful, very effective. And if we only practice the physical part, we're touching the tiniest part of the yogic science. It's necessary, we need that stability and health in the body to be able to expand our consciousness. We can't have pain in the back and health issues if we're going to transcend the limitations of the body, because the body will take all of our attention if there's pain and trouble and disease. So it's important to do the physical practice. But I have experienced that many in the modern do mostly only physical practice and maybe a few minutes of breathing, maybe a few minutes of meditation. What I encourage you as people who are perhaps going to walk down this path is to divide your time in half. Half for asana, half for breathing and meditation. So that way you get to go deeper into the powerful effects of breathing. The breathing, pranayama science, is so much more effective than physical postures for balancing the energy, the emotions, and the mind. We need the balance in the physical body, of course. But spend some more time breathing and you'll see the great benefits. I don't know how you felt at the end of class today. I felt wonderful, so I hope you did too. But the idea is that the more you breathe, the more efficient you are in transforming yourself. Asana can take you so far, but the cult of the physical, the idea that we need to be super flexible and do all these crazy asanas, takes a lot of time. And you can do a 2-hour asana practice and you will feel good, guaranteed. But there's something missing if you're not going into the deeper stillness. The stillness is where we find the inner peace. The stillness is where healing happens. And the stillness is where we really get the expansion of the consciousness beyond the physical body. If you're flowing and moving and focusing on movement, how do you let your consciousness expand beyond the physical body? So that's why it's really essential to do a physical practice first, calm down those energies that are often imbalanced from modern life, work with that first, then go into the breathing, and then go into meditation, okay? So you don't have to do a 2-hour practice. You can do all of this within a half hour. You do a little bit of movement. If you're gonna do your own practice at home, and that's really the key to evolving on your path, having your own personal practice. Every day, you go and you get on your mat. And maybe the hardest part is getting to the mat sometimes, but once you're there, you're always grateful that you spent some time there, right? Nobody ever left a yoga mat and said, man, I wish I hadn't done that today, right? So get on the mat and do your spinal movements every direction. This is all you need to do. Bend forward, bend back, side, lateral, side to side, a little bit of twisting. If you get that and then open the hips, you got a complete practice. And you can do that in 15 minutes. You do a few rounds of sun salutations, you do some of the things we did today with just twisting the spine or the gentle, whatever works for you, okay? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to develop your own home practice. You already know enough. I just told you how to do it. Get the spine moving in all the directions, whatever works for you. Take 10, 15, 20 minutes and then do 10, 15, 20 minutes of breathing, depending on how much time you have. So I can get a full practice in a half hour. 15 minutes of physical, 10, 15 minutes of breathing. And you know, the breathing can be the meditation. If you're having a hard time sitting still, just breathing, especially this alternate nostril breathing, balances the 2 hemispheres of the brain. It balances the lunar and solar energy, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous systems. It's a holistic practice. So if you can incorporate that a little bit, and guess what? It doesn't have to be on the mat. You're having a stressful day at work, push back from the desk or whatever you're doing, and do this for 3 rounds. 3 rounds, and you will feel different. So these techniques are not just for yoga, they're for life. It's a life science, how to be the healthiest, happiest, most balanced being we can be. And you can do that any time of the day. So I hear a lot of those stinky excuses, oh, I don't have time to go to yoga class. That's wrong. You have time to do a little bit of breathing. You have time to bend forward and bend back and twist in a minute and then like, oh, I feel better. Okay, so don't sit with your suffering. Don't sit with the body pain or the mental and emotional tension that is taking over. Do something about it other than having a smoke, having a drink, taking in nasty food that's gonna make you feel worse later, all right? I wanna be a little bit of a pusher here and say, guys, be responsible for yourselves. You wanna be happy, make it happen. Don't hope the circumstances around you are going to bring you happiness. You create the happiness within yourself, and then the world around you reflects that back to you. It's not the other way around. Okay, so you are in charge. Got it? Good. All right. Please open a window. All right. Sometimes I feel like the Tantra coach. You can do this.